Hey guys, it's me, Alan, and I'm back. Lighthearted video because I gotta react to how today's games went. Well, the teams that I'm rooting for. So kicked off the day with the Bucks and Panthers, repping the Brady jersey, of course, and New England or goddamn Tampa Bay, they got it done. They looked a lot better today than they did against the Saints last week. Um, yeah, Brady still had a pick at one point, but they held on. They got it done. I'm looking like a huge dunce for leaving Mike Evans on the bench on one of my fantasy teams because I have one for ESPN and one for NFL. So yeah, that happened. But actually, with my NFL team, I had Evans, Larry Fitzgerald, and Julian Edelman all on my bench, and all three of them lit it up. And yet, I still might win that matchup for that team. Pretty funny how that works sometimes. But yeah, like I said, Brady had a pretty darn good game. Just the Buccaneers just did really well against Carolina, and they got it done. So, congrats to them. Got to watch the Chargers Ravens or no Chargers Chiefs game. Excuse me. Had to have something in between the Bucks game and the Pats game. And to my surprise, Justin Herbert was out there, and I'm like, what? Obviously sixth overall pick in the draft from this year. Well, Tyrod Taylor apparently aggravated a rib injury or what have you. Apparently he got checked, went to the hospital. He has been discharged, so thank God for that. But that meant that Justin Herbert, literally minutes before the game, he gets told, "Hey, you're going in," and he goes in, runs it in for a touchdown in the first, on the in his, early on, and he looked really good out there. Like there were some passes that were a bit high thrown, um, but a couple of mistakes. But dude, he went to overtime against the defending Super Bowl champions. Yeah, the Chiefs won the game, but Justin Herbert, that's the thing. Oregon quarterbacks in the NFL have not had the best of luck ever since Dan Fouts. Dan Fouts is a Hall of Famer. Ever since then, we've had guys like Akili Smith and Joey Harrington, and it's too early to really say anything about Marcus Mariota. I know he's been in the league for what 4 or 5 years now, and he's the backup for Derek Carr in Las Vegas. But Mariota's had some bits of success. He's just been stuck with a mediocre Titans team, and I don't know really. That's more to say on that probably in the future. We'll see what happens. But as far as the game goes, again, Justin Herbert did phenomenal. Um, leading the Chargers on short notice, considering he was not expecting to start. So, yeah. And then the Patriots Seahawks game, which just ended. Wow, what a game! Devin McCourty kicking it off with an interception return for a touchdown. That was pretty awesome. Seattle hung with us, and then it was late in the game. They got the lead, and it's like, I think a lot of Patriots fans, I can see it on Twitter. We're like, fuck, this is how we're going out tonight. And no, it's like the Denver Nuggets coming back from 3-1 twice. Um, Cam Newton and the Patriots, they didn't give up. Yeah, they failed on that 2-point conversion, which was pretty pivotal. Um, because coming down late in the game, they they scored. They made it a 5-point game. If they had made the 2-point conversion earlier, then that would have been a 3-point game. They could have hit a field goal to tie it and go to overtime. But they failed on the 2-point conversion. It is what it is. But Cam Newton, he led one hell of a final drive. Did get a penalty. There was a penalty that went our way, but again, that for the majority of that drive, that was Cam Newton. Just he got the ball to N'Keal Harry, he got the ball to Julian Edelman, ran it a few times. Tried to run it in there at the end with 3 seconds left. But the Seahawks defense, they did a hell of a job there at the end, and they closed up the hole, and Newton had nowhere to go. Literally goes end over end and gets taken down, and that's the end of the game. You know, so I think the biggest takeaway from this is the 2-point conversion, failing on that. Um, I'm not going to say that cost us the game. I think that was a gutsy call for when it was called. But then again, if the rest of the game goes the way it did, it would have been a 3 point game if he made it, and it would have been a 4 point game if they just went for the extra point, assuming the rest of the game went the way it did. So, with that being said, um, again, nothing for these guys to really hang their heads about. They went out there and they did one hell of a job. Against a Seahawks team that it's is usually a Super Bowl contender or at least conference championship contender, year in and year out. And I think it's shown that, Cam Newton and the Patriots, especially with a defense that has lost, guys like Patrick Chung and Dante Hightower, who opted out, and then guys like Kyle Van Noy and Daron Harmon and Landon Roberts and such to free agency and trades during free agency. I think what this game showed is that even with all that, we can still hang with these guys. I think the one thing that concerns me just a little bit is Cam Newton running the ball so much, and I get it that he's built to do that. But the thing is, that's where a lot of the injuries have come from. And on top of that, I think on that last play, I mean, you got to think they're gonna figure that Newton's gonna run it. So why not, make it look like he's gonna run it and then set somebody up and you throw in the end zone. I mean, it's a 50-50 shot, but it is what it is. Like I said, nothing to hang their heads on. That was one hell of a game, and I can't wait to see what happens the rest of the year. I mean, let's be honest, that was probably one of the better games on the day, and again, for a Pats team that's missing a lot of its defense and a team that even with Cam Newton, many probably thought, we'd probably be around 500, maybe a wild card team in that third spot. Honestly, I think we're contenders to still win this division. Even with Buffalo the way they are, we're still contenders to win this thing. It's really going to come down to either us or Buffalo to win the AFC East, and then whoever doesn't, win the division is probably going to be one of the two higher of the three wild cards. So we'll just see what happens. But anyway, thank you all for watching. Hope you all enjoyed. If you did, please drop a like and subscribe for more content like this, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace.